Hey, what is up guys? Guitar here, welcome back to another Brown Dust video. Alright, so a bunch of you guys have been asking me to do a guide on who to actually choose or who should you pick when the time comes to basically obtain all the free mercenaries that you can get, all the +9s, including the 6 devils as well. So I'm not sure how much I'm going to be able to cover in one video. I might make a few separate videos on certain topics, like certain picks, because some of them definitely deserve like their own spotlight. So yeah, so right now, before we jump into the Jumpstart Festival and 6 Devils Companion on who to choose from, take note that they added a new developers notes and they added a few new things actually that you need have to take into consideration. So this is still the same developer notes that we have covered before, alright, on the Facebook. So there's Larkis, Sheila, Bella, Sierra, Bella, Tyre. Alright, so here, I think it's this one. New info. Alright, so this is the new info we're talking about. So guaranteed recruit event for 5-star companions will be permanently added as a part of the game system. I mean, that has always been there. Alright, and then we have Legend Mercenary custom chance up will be added. Okay, so that is a different, sort of a new thing that we know is coming. But here's the unique thing. Guaranteed recruit system will be applied to Legend Recruit, 5-star mileage recruit to get add-in, and 5-star mercenaries as well. So that is the new thing that's I believe that is out in Korea, if I'm not mistaken, that they are bringing this feature forward right now. Okay, you can select either a mercenary or companion for the guaranteed recruit system, guaranteeing the selected mercenary or companion to be recruited after a certain number of attempts. Okay, so this will be applied to Legend recruits, 5-star mileage recruits, new chance up, custom chance up. Very cool. Alright, so basically they have adjusted the rates as well. So before this, 0.05% chance to obtain either Lucius, Livia, Vals, or Asmod. So each of them will have that amount. So basically 0.2% chance to obtain all of them. So now they have changed to 0.2% to obtain like the specific one that you want. So it's still pretty low, but at least it's a thing, right? So now you can either, if you really want Asmod, you can just select him and he will be the main one for you to choose. Alright, so Legend Mercenary who are not selected as a chance up will not be recruited. That's cool. So you can select which legendary you want to be in that chance up. So guaranteed recruit attempts for each mercenaries are as follows. Legend recruit, 500 attempts before guaranteed recruit. So all you gotta do is to recruit 500 attempts. Alright, I assume the 500 attempts refers to the total mercenaries, which is actually not that bad if you think about it. Like, recruit 500 mercenaries, basically for the custom chance up, you have 100 attempts before you get your guaranteed recruit, right? So this is 5 times more, and you're actually getting a legendary. You're getting either Lucius, Livia, Vals, or Asmod. So those of you who are complaining that you do not own a Lucius before this, now, I mean, it's a good time, right? You can actually obtain him right now. And then, of course, Livia as well, so you get a chance to use her costume. Okay, so custom chance up, 100 attempts, new chance up 80 attempts, and mileage recruit 10 attempts. Alright, so you have to recruit someone from mileage 10 times, and then you are guaranteed to get an add-in, which is cool. I mean, this way, I guess almost all the veteran players are going to be able to obtain add-in. Alright, so let's jump onto the guide, and this video is sponsored by beautifulhello.com. It's a website that has thousands of beautifully designed clothing to choose from. Pepe Frog hoodie, anime girl hoodie, they have it all. And it also has free shipping worldwide, so you're gonna get your clothes no matter where you're from. Alright, make sure to insert the relevant codes to get some discounts off. Check it out, links will be in the description below. Okay, so let's go. Let's look at the guide, and I will try to be as in-depth as possible. So we're not going to do the legendary recruits first. We're going to focus from day 1 till day 7. Alright, so all the 5 and 4 stars respectively. I know the 4 stars are not as exciting because they are 4 stars and they are much more easier to obtain, but bear with me, there might be some of you guys who are actually interested in them as well. Alright, so let's cover the 5-star mercenaries first. Okay, So we have Anastasia, Wilhelmina, Dalvi, Foxy, Aliena, Sigmund, Hanya, Jean, Christina, Elijah. Alright, at the time of me recording this video, out of all of this list, only 2 mercenaries have the plus 15 variants of them, which is Dalvi and Christina. Alright, Christina is already out in Korea. She will probably come over to the rest of the server in a couple of months' time. But she might be a decent pick if you want to be future-proof, but you have to make sure that you have a decent team right now. Like, you don't want to be picking Christina and, you know, have a chance at Arena later on and suffer for the next 2 or 3 months before she comes, where you're not able to climb for not having a decent 5-star warrior. Okay, so I'm just gonna straight up say that if you are new to the game, right, and you're not sure on who to pick, your best bet is probably going to be Anastasia. Alright, the reason is because Anastasia is gonna help you with PvE content. She's decent in PvP. Like, if you want to climb to that crystal range, yes, she can be used up till there. Obviously, if you want to go higher than that, I wouldn't recommend picking her, because there are a lot of units that counters her right now, and she really needs good supporters as well to pair with if you want to get rid of very, very strong defenders like Cecilia, etc. Okay, so do keep that in mind. So my recommendation to all new players out there, Anastasia. She's the go-to to pick. I know some of you guys might be, why not pick Dalvi? Why are you not recommending Dalvi? Alright, calm down, alright? Just calm down for a moment. So that's the reason why. Dalvi, plus 9, she's not gonna do much at plus 9, I'll be honest with you, alright? So if you pick Dalvi right now, you sort of have to try and get her companions up to plus 12. You need at least 2 companions, and if you're able to get the soul gear, that's good. But if you can't get her soul gear up to plus 10, then you will need 3 companions. So that's gonna be a struggle, and it might not be as much of a compelling value, because it depends on what your goal is and what your objectives are, right? So Dalvi, yes, she's gonna be good in the arena, etc. But Anastasia has much more flexibility in terms of the campaign and Evil Castle, where those 2 areas I notice newer players tend to struggle. Therefore, if you are new, only if you are new, right, I would say Anastasia is still the best pick. But if you have been playing the game for at least 2 to 3 months, Dalvi is definitely the next unit that you should put into consideration. In fact, that's the second best pick that I would recommend to newer players as well. The problem with Dalvi is, I feel like the meta towards her is gonna slowly fade away when Glacier comes. And Glacier, as a solid defender, counters Dalvi immediately. And not just because of that, if you don't have a solid formation overall, Dalvi is not gonna help you much as an individual warrior. Like, Dalvi doesn't shine as much as Wilhelmina per se. The reason why I say this is because, whether you like it or not, Lucius is gonna be a thing with the new added 500 recruited, 500 guaranteed attempts to get a Lucius. Everybody is gonna have Lucius now. So in the arena, whether you like it or not, I think 90% of the players are gonna have Lucius. Dalvi is not gonna be able to do anything to him. If Dalvi was a skip, or if Dalvi was like a rare, a back hitter, then she would have a much better time staying in the meta. But with a lot of other picks right now, and you're gonna see this later on, because Cowley is one of the choices that you can pick as well for 5-star defenders. And Cowley, I can guarantee you, lots of players are gonna go for her. In fact, I'm gonna recommend her later on. But yeah, I'm gonna focus on this. Cowley counters Dalvi as well, so she's gonna struggle a lot in the arena. Alright, so at least if you have Anastasia, you have the compelling value of something that's very good in underground arena. Alright, I know not many players play underground arena. Like, that's the thing. I understand. Alright, so nobody plays underground arena. It's actually fun for me, but for those, maybe like 5% of you watching, if you actually play underground arena, Anastasia is really good. Like, she's really good. You can just place her in a whatever position, she's gonna counter a lot of units, and you know, players have to think twice before putting their Cecilia in a random spot. Same goes for Guild Wars, right? So if you want a decent Guild Wars contender in attacking, in defeating castles, Anastasia has lots more value than a Dalvi, I think. So yeah, that's the thing. If you're new to the game, definitely I would highly recommend go for Anastasia. Dalvi is going to require that extra bit of investment to get it to plus 12 if you want her to work way better. And that extra bit of investment is actually a lot for new players. It might not be much to me or to any veteran players that have been playing the game for 1 year plus or 6 months plus. But definitely for new players who are starting out, who are just in the game for 2 or 3 weeks, to spend that few extra diamonds to get Dalvi's companion, that's going to be a real struggle. Therefore, definitely still Anastasia if you're new to the game, for sure. Alright, so next, Wilhelmina. Okay, so Wilhelmina is an interesting one. She's probably gonna... It depends on how players are gonna utilize Cowley right after this Jumpstart quest begins, because Cowley counters Wilhelmina. If you guys are not aware of this, I've done videos on that before. The problem is Wilhelmina is still really good and a pretty decent compelling value if you want to counter those units with 100% defense. And there's a lot of units like that we're going to see right after the 6th Devil will have the rework. Angelica, Narthas, Dalvi is still there, you know, Lucius. Wilhelmina counters those units. In fact, I feel like she's a risky pick, but like if you know how to set up your formation well, and if you have methods of countering Cowley, just Cowley to be specific, if you're a Vals user, you know how to position your Vals to move first to nullify the taunt from Cowley and remove the reflective counter, Wilhelmina might actually be a pretty decent warrior to pick right now. She might still last for a couple of weeks, maybe after all the better units comes out. I know a lot of veteran players will say, oh, there's no reason to pick Wilhelmina because Nia exists, and to a certain degree I do agree, because Nia can get rid of Cecilia, Nia can get rid of Lucius, very good, and Nia is a Cowley counter in a way. If Cowley does not taunt first, Nia will be able to eliminate her instantly, no problem with the bleed damage and things etc. But in scenarios like Underground Arena, Guild Wars, I know I mentioned Underground Arena a lot, and I'm trying to cover this for a unit to be a benefit to you in as many areas as possible. I'm not just looking at this from a PvP perspective, so do keep that in mind. Wilhelmina shines much more than Nia outside of Arena. If you are focusing solely on Arena per se, then yeah, definitely don't go for Wilhelmina right here. You can either go for Dalvi or Anastasia. But I would say Wilhelmina is the solid third choice for me after Anastasia and Dalvi. Alright, so Foxy, her nullifier is really good, don't get me wrong, and she definitely counters quite a number of units in the arena right now, but I feel like the meta doesn't favor her. She's kind of in a tough spot right now for recommendation. In PvE wise, like you are better off using Anastasia, she's going to cover much more area. In PvP, Foxy counters Lucius definitely for sure, but most of the Lucius will be placed in front anyways. So I'm not sure like what particular unit is she going to counter, maybe except for Cowley. If a strong, highly buff Foxy can actually get rid of Cowley's easily, but again, Nia can do the same as well, and it's a much cheaper option. So yeah, definitely I would avoid her. Ileana, definitely not going to recommend her at all. She used to be pretty good, but right now, unless she gets a plus 15, right? Which is maybe it's going to be years before that actually happens. I'm going to avoid her. Unless you want to pick her for waifu reasons, go ahead. Not going to stop you. Sigmund! Alright, so Sigmund is an interesting one. Used to be really strong, a solid unit. But right now in the meta, he doesn't shine as much anymore. I'm going to say skip Sigmund. Definitely not going to recommend him at all. I don't see like what scenario can you really use him and utilize him in a full potential. The problem with Sigmund and Foxy is they are both having the skip tiles, and Anastasia has a much bigger range in terms of covering the AoE. Anastasia is almost like a mage herself, and she's a warrior that hits in an extremely big tile. She has lots of damage if you have good runes on her. So I don't see any reason to go for Sigmund or Foxy over her, like, to be honest. Hanya, she's gonna hit the rare tiles, and if you guys did not check out my recent video, there is this new sniper girl unit that's released in Korea that will have a similar tile range to Hanya, look like a much better version of him instead, because has ignore defense, ignore taunt, etc. So I wouldn't recommend picking Hanya right now. He's just, unless you are really focusing on the underground arena, then you can try Hanya. He might still be decent right there to scare off opponents from placing like 3 in a row all the way at the back. But other than that, he doesn't really serve much purpose anymore. Don't get me wrong, he's still usable in the arena. If you're attacking, he's one of the first one to move. But for, like I mentioned, to most players and in most cases, I do think that going for Anastasia makes much more sense for the big AoE tile range. Alright, Jhin, unfortunately I would have to say skip as well, because Larkis is here right now. Larkis is here to stay. Larkis is just a better version of Jhin. If you're looking for something that can counter, the only thing that Jhin has that Larkis do not have is the stats weakening immunity. And that's the only difference between them, right? Stats weakening, Larkis has DOT immunity as opposed to Jin's stats weakening immunity. Definitely not go for Jhin, skip him. Christina, like I mentioned earlier, she's kind of a risky one if you already have most of the warriors on this list, right? And you're trying to be even more future proof. If you're not, like I'm not talking about new players right here, I'm talking about players that have been playing for a while. Christina might be a good future-proof option. Just get her ready, and then when she actually receives the plus 15, you can just pull for her companions. Alright, that's going to be a thing, I guess. Elijah is definitely one of the best units to use in World Boss. She's good if you want to go for the concentrated fire strategy, but that strategy is long dead by now. Could be used in Underground Arena or even in some campaign stages and guild wars as well, but I don't know, I would definitely not recommend her unless you have all the other mercenaries right here on this list. Okay, so that being said, basically covers everything you need to know about the warriors. What do you guys think? I definitely think that going for Anastasia is definitely the best choice. Second choice would be Dalvi. Third choice would be Wilhelmina. Alright, fourth choice, for me, I would say Hanya maybe. And then the rest, I would consider them as like a fifth priority. They're not that strong, but if you want to go for them, go ahead, I guess. Okay, so that's gonna be it for this video. Alright, so I know I've only covered the mercenaries so far, but stay tuned. In the next video, we'll cover, I'll try to do more, alright? So, or else this video will be too long. So, which warriors should you pick? This is what it's all about. So next one we'll be covering the 4-star supporter, 5-star defenders. Alright, as always, let me know if you guys agree with my choices and my recommendations for newer players. For those veteran players out there, if you guys agree or disagree, leave it in the comments below. As always, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, give this video a like and stay tuned for the next upcoming video guide on who to pick in the supporter, defender and magician categories. Alright, so have a nice day. Goodbye.